Good morning. It's Vijay here. Today is Thursday, 8th of January 2026. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre Market Commentary. Today, we are now living in a world of chaos, and chaos is the master of chaos is Trump, who is doing something ridiculous every day. The whole world is just watching without reaction. Now, if the whole world is just going to sit back and allow him to do what he does, I think the chaos is only going to increase and not decrease. For instance, yesterday, see a number of chaotic things which he did was the US chased a Russian oil tanker, went up and he went into the ship and inspected them, and Russia did not do anything about it. And he said yesterday, military budget he'll increase from $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion. I don't know from where he is going to get the $0.5 trillion, which means it will put more pressure on the U.S. economy, and therefore one can expect some inflation to happen sometime later in the year. And there is a bill on sanctioning of people who use Russian oil, where they have specifically mentioned countries like India, Brazil, basically the BRIC countries. They are attacking that. So we are also in the line of fire as far as US is concerned. And Trump never leaves an opportunity to insult India at various forum, and India is not responding. So you have India not responding, Russia not responding. Now he says he will go to Greenland, and Greenland is theirs. And so European Union also has not responded in any big manner. Then they are saying there will be a talk with Danish officials over the weekend, and they will annex Greenland. I'm fairly certain, just a matter of time. Now he talks about Colombia, and Colombia. He says they've had a talks, and probably Colombian president will come, and I'm sure Trump will extract something from the Colombian president. And then you have what else is there? Yeah, now he's attacking the defense industry and says you cannot give huge dividends and buybacks, and you should put that money into your industry. Then he's attacking the institutional investors who are into single homes, and he says you cannot invest in single homes or he'll make it difficult. uh, and then about Venezuela oil deal, he says Venezuela will purchase whatever US sells to them based on the oil for trade deal. So that's another chaotic thing. Then, I can go on and on, but these are right now, this is what Trump has done in a single day. And you can expect more, because once a bully realizes that, there is no pushback from the other side, he will continue to bully. Either we nip it in the bud, or we will end up 2026 will be the landmark year in maybe more than a century. The last time we saw something like this happening was during Hitler, as a time where Hitler started bullying one country after another. Nobody stood up to him, and Great Britain tried to do that. US did not even help at that point of time. I think we'll go back to those days if people do not stand up to Trump now. And I think there is a possibility that Putin and China will stand up. India may not stand up, but I'm sure Putin and China will do that, and maybe Brazil will do that. So if these three out of BRIC countries do something, South Africa has actually stood up to US. Sort of BRICS, only India is left, and even if you exclude India, we are willing to suffer whatever Trump says. He says I'll put up to 500% tariffs. Now we are already having 50%, so we'll have to be reconciled to more tariffs if we begin to. I mean, if we are buying oil from Russia, we've stopped, not stopped. I mean, we are gradually reducing. So when the bill gets passed, then we have to automatically stop, and then they may put more and more pressure. So this is what it is, and that is why we have been, insisting that not insisting, and we have our strategy is very clear. We are buying into natural resources, because even in the worst of the time, natural resources tends to do well. In 2008, when the whole world was in chaos, natural resources did well for a significant period of time, and also they went up significantly. For instance, silver went up 50% in the first half of 2008. Oil went up close to 80% in 2008. and then it fell, of course. But I'm just saying between the start of chaos and during the year, silver went up 50%, oil went up 80 and odd percent, copper went up 50%, gold went up 25%. So that is the only place to hide in 2026 is what we firmly believe, and our analysis shows that already we are having a commodity super cycle. The beginning of a commodity super cycle is happening in the last couple of years, and it will only accelerate during 2026. So yesterday, coming back to our Indian markets, yesterday, the bears were having the upper hand, and they continue to sell. But somewhere we had a late recovery, and we closed. Nifty closed about 40 points lower. Bank Nifty closed about 125 points lower. But by and large, it was even Stevens day. I would say advanced declines were also not so bad because the mid cap and the small cap indices went up. I think the pre-budget rally is starting. So, notwithstanding what Trump does, I think we should get a reasonable pre-budget rally. Before that, we may also have some, fall, especially on Friday. Friday is the most important day in the world. I mean, for the world in this year, I suspect. So we'll have lots of things happening on Friday, especially the Supreme Court judgment on the U.S. tariffs. So in terms of stocks, jewelry stocks did well because gold and silver prices had risen overnight. But there is that scare that from today onwards, that index rebalancing is there for commodities, where gold and silver weightage will come down and copper weightage will go up. There is nothing to fear as far as I'm concerned, because the last time they did a rebalancing last year was on the Mag 7 stocks. They did not move much. In fact, they moved up after that. So I believe that this rebalancing for precious metals will do nothing negative, say for more than maybe 3 4 days. There are 5 trading days where the balancing takes place. Here also, India also, we have this balancing all the time. MSCI rebalancing, FTSE rebalancing, but nothing happens to the stocks excepting on the day of the rebalancing. In this case, there are 5 days of rebalancing. Of course, after the scare, a lot of the scare is known. In fact, I had talked about it 10 days ago that rebalancing will be there, but yet we have bought silver. Even yesterday, we bought silver Bs because I don't think one can exactly time. So long as silver trades below $80, it is a bargain as far as I'm concerned. What did institutions do? FIS sold 1528 crores, DIS bought close to 3000 crores, 1361 crores was the net FI buying. Net institution buy. Gift Nifty is showing a 45 point drop. So that maybe US futures are flat. Dow Jones went up to an all-time high and closed significantly lower. So the bears and technical analysts will come and say it's a key reversal at the top. I don't think so as of now. There is still some more steam left as per my calculations. Intel was one of the biggest gainers that did well because of some corporate related information. DAX did very well yesterday in the European market, went up more than, I think, 200 points. And US, of course, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones and S&P closed lower. Nasdaq went up because quite a few of the IT stocks did go up. So that is as far as the US is concerned. Oil remains steady at 60, even though all this chaos is there. WTI actually went up. WTI should have gone down because Trump is not threatening, he's getting oil from Venezuela, he says, and he's looking at Greenland again for oil and minerals. So it should have actually gone down, but it did not. That is how the market functions because the positioning is very, very bearish as far as oil is concerned. And looking at stocks today, IRB Infra has, given their guidance, which is 12% year on year for December aggregate toll revenue has increased. Tata Steel guidance again talks of a quarterly crude steel production is the best ever quarterly crude steel production. Hudco says they have a non-binding MOU with Chhattisgarh government that is supposed to be positive. Gland Pharma has received an USFDA approval for ANDA of olopatidine hydrochloride ophthalmic solution. Very difficult to pronounce, but that's what it is. Gland Pharma has been we used to hold Gland Pharma quite some time ago, but we don't hold it anymore. But that has, I think, it's been beaten down very badly in the last 3 years. Maybe there is something interesting there, but we don't intend to own it. Then Zaggle Prepaid Ocean Services signed a perpetual agreement with Cubestian Consulting, so that should be in focus. Infosys and Cognition announces strategic collaboration to accelerate AI value for global enterprises. Already, IT sector is doing well. I feel it's a rebound rally. There's nothing much to look forward in the next few months, but in the interim, IT sector is holding up the market to that extent, and some FMCG stocks and some stocks like ICICI are also doing well, whereas Reliance and HDFC Bank are being sold. And today, as far as the lock-in period, LG Electronics lock-in period ends. 2% of stock will be available for free trade, and Crizac 60% of stock will be available. So that will, I think, further put pressure on the stocks per se. So yesterday we bought on decline, we struggled, but we were able to do well because we booked quick profits. Today I'm a little bit concerned. I'll just wait and watch. Maybe I will reduce my exposure for the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. So let us see what happens. But whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.